Art of persuasion. Persuasion is the art of convincing someone to agree with your point of view. According to the ancient Greek philosopher Aristotle, there are three basic tools of persuasion: ethos, pathos, and logos. Ethos is a speaker's way of convincing the audience that she is a credible source. An audience will consider a speaker credible if she seems trustworthy, reliable, and sincere. This can be done in many ways. For example, a speaker can develop ethos by explaining how much experience or education she has in the field. After all, you would be more likely to listen to advice about how to take care of your teeth from a dentist than a firefighter. A speaker can also create ethos by convincing the audience that she is a good person who has their best interests at heart. If an audience cannot trust you, you will not be able to persuade them. Example: in his "I Have a Dream" speech, Martin Luther King Jr. established his ethos by drawing upon his position as a respected leader within the civil rights movement. His status as a Baptist minister and his history of advocating for nonviolent protest lent credibility to his message of racial equality and justice. Here's an excerpt from the speech. "I have a dream that one day this nation will rise up and live out the true meaning of its creed. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal. I have a dream that one day on the red hills of Georgia, the sons of former slaves and the sons of former slave owners will be able to sit down together at the table of brotherhood. I have a dream that one day even the state of Mississippi, a state sweltering with the heat of injustice, sweltering with the heat of oppression, will be transformed into an oasis of freedom and justice. I have a dream that my 4 little children will one day live in a nation where they will not be judged by the color of their skin but by the content of their character. I have a dream today." Pathos is a speaker's way of connecting with an audience's emotions. For example, a speaker who is trying to convince an audience to vote for him might say that he alone can save the country from a terrible war. These words are intended to fill the audience with fear, thus making them want to vote for him. Similarly, a charity organization that helps animals might show an audience pictures of injured dogs and cats. These images are intended to fill the viewers with pity. If the audience feels bad for the animals, they will be more likely to donate money. Example: Winston Churchill's "We Shall Fight on the Beaches" speech delivered during World War II is a powerful example of pathos. In this speech, Churchill appealed to the emotions of the British people by painting a vivid picture of the dire situation facing the nation as it stood alone against Nazi Germany. He spoke of the bravery, sacrifice, and determination required to withstand the onslaught of the enemy, evoking feelings of patriotism, solidarity, and resolve among his audience. Churchill's stirring rhetoric and impassioned plea for courage in the face of adversity galvanized the British people and inspired them to persevere in the fight against tyranny. Logos. The use of logos, which involves employing facts, statistics, or evidence to enhance the persuasiveness of an argument. It emphasizes how presenting data can bolster credibility and make the audience more receptive to the message. Additionally, it highlights the synergy between logos, ethos, and pathos in effective persuasion, suggesting that combining these elements can strengthen the impact of communication. Overall, the passage underscores the importance of recognizing and understanding these rhetorical tools in various forms of discourse for better comprehension and critical analysis. Example: in his famous speech at the Lincoln-Douglas debates, Abraham Lincoln utilized logos by presenting logical arguments against the expansion of slavery into new territories. He appealed to the principles of the Declaration of Independence, arguing that the United States was founded on the belief that all men are created equal, and therefore, slavery should not be permitted to spread. This excerpt encapsulates Lincoln's position on slavery and his belief that the nation could not continue to exist half-slave and half-free. In my opinion, it will not cease until a crisis shall have been reached and passed. A house divided against itself cannot stand. I believe this government cannot endure, permanently half-slave and half-free. I do not expect the Union to be dissolved, I do not expect the house to fall, but I do expect it will cease to be divided. It will become all one thing or all the other. Either the opponents of slavery will arrest the further spread of it, and place it where the public mind shall rest in the belief that it is in the course of ultimate extinction, or its advocates will push it forward till it shall become alike lawful in all the states, old as well as new, north as well as south. Ethos, Pathos, and Logos are three persuasive appeals identified by the ancient Greek philosopher Aristotle. These appeals serve as fundamental tools for influencing beliefs, attitudes, and behaviors in various forms of communication, including speeches, advertisements, debates, and writing. Understanding ethos, pathos, and logos enables communicators to craft more compelling and persuasive arguments. Here's an elaboration on each. In a nutshell, ethos, pathos, and logos are essential tools of persuasion that appeal to different aspects of human psychology and cognition. By strategically combining credibility, emotion, and logic, communicators can craft more persuasive messages that resonate with their audience, influence attitudes and behaviors, and achieve their persuasive goals effectively and ethically. Here's a simple example that includes the persuasive techniques of logos, pathos, and ethos. Logos, logical appeal. Studies show that implementing renewable energy sources can reduce carbon emissions by 80% within 30 years. Pathos, emotional appeal. Imagine a world where our children can breathe clean air and enjoy the beauty of unspoiled nature. Ethos, ethical appeal. As a long-standing environmental scientist, I've dedicated my life to studying the impacts of renewable energy. These techniques work together to create a compelling argument for the adoption of renewable energy.